Good morning, students. In last class, we discussed about the Coulomb's law in scalar form, and in Coulomb's law, we find when we consider the force between two charges separated by some distance, then the force between the two charges is directly proportional to product of the magnitude of the charges and inversely proportional to the square of separation between them. Okay. So, when we discuss the Coulomb's law, we find the force between any two charge particle. Suppose I consider the point charges Q1 and Q2, then I find the force between the two charges equal to beta Q1 Q2 divided by R square. Okay, where we take beta as a proportionality constant and the value of beta that depends upon the medium. Okay, medium in between the two charges, and the value of beta we find in different system is, in medium case beta will 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught k, or simply we can say 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught epsilon r. Okay, epsilon naught is the absolute permittivity and epsilon r is the relative permittivity of any medium, and k is simply the dielectric constant. And when we observe the value of epsilon naught, the value of epsilon naught will be 8.85 into 10 to the power minus 12, okay, Coulomb square Newton inverse meter to the power minus 2, okay, and that is the permittivity in free space. Okay, and when we consider the value of beta in free space or beta in AR, we find, so that value will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Okay, and remember the value of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, if we substitute pi epsilon naught, and when we calculate the total quantity, then we find the value of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught will be 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square Coulomb to the power minus 2. Okay, so how we find the unit of beta? We can calculate here. The unit of beta can be taken from the variation of this formula. Okay, from Coulomb's law we can find the unit of beta. Okay, so if you observe the unit of beta, okay, so as per Coulomb's law, force between any two charge particle will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, or simply beta Q1 Q2 by R square. Okay, suppose I take the two charges Q1 and Q2, and distance between them is R and medium is air. Okay, so in such case the force will be beta Q1 Q2 by R square, and the value of beta, as we know, that will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Okay, and its value is 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square Coulomb to the power minus 2. Okay, ये यूनिट को हम केमती बाहर करिबा. Okay, देखो, so when we take the observation to Coulomb's formula, we can have beta equals to f r square divided by q1 q2. Okay, so the term beta that depends upon the force between two charges, distance of separation, and magnitude of the product of the two charges. Okay, so unit of beta equals to f, that will be Newton, r, that will be meter, and there is a r power 2, so that will be meter square, q, that is charge, unit of charge is Coulomb, and since there are two charges particle, so there will be Coulomb square. Okay, so Newton meter square by Coulomb square. Okay, so that will be Newton meter square Coulomb to the power minus 2. Understand? And that will be the SI unit. Okay, so if we measure in CGS system, the CGS unit of beta will be Newton, that unit of force, and in CGS system the Newton is converted to dial. Okay, dial meter, the CGS unit will be centimeter, so dial centimeter square divided by there will be two units of coulomb in CGS system. Okay, one is start coulomb, okay, and another will be arc coulomb. Dyne centimeter square divided by arc coulomb. Okay, so either you may write start coulomb format or you may write arc coulomb format. Okay, because unit of charge in CGS or MKS or in SI system, that will be coulomb. Okay, in CGS there will be two unit, either you may write electrostatic unit, okay, another one is electromagnetic unit. Okay, one is electrostatic unit and another one is electromagnetic unit. In electrostatic unit, it is written as start coulomb, or we may write start C. Okay, and in electromagnetic unit or EMU unit, so that will be arc coulomb or arc C. Okay, understand? So the unit of beta in CGS system, that will be dyne centimeter square by start coulomb and dyne meter square divided by arc coulomb. Okay. Now let us take an important discussion about the Coulomb's law. Okay, and this is very important, and you have to listen it carefully. Okay, because when we write the vector form for any Coulomb's law, okay, so vector form of Coulomb's law. Okay, so generally what we write, how can one write the Coulomb's law in between two charged particles placed in air, or Coulomb's law in between two charged particles placed in a medium? So if we write Coulomb's force between two charged particles in air, we can have 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 divided by r square. Okay, remember this formula, because this formula will be come in your different problematic calculations. Okay, so 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square. Okay, and value of 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, that will be 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton meter square coulomb to the power minus 2. Okay, and force between two charged particles in medium. Okay, if we place a medium, then there will be a relative permittivity term or there is a dielectric term. So that's why force between two charged particles in medium, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 divided by r square. Okay, but important thing is that we say force between two charged particles. That means force is a vector quantity. Okay, so question will be like, what is the direction of that Coulomb force? Okay, there is a question you may arise that I say force between two charged particles or Coulomb force, that will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square. But since force is a vector quantity, so you may ask what is the direction of that Coulomb force? Okay, so the direction of the Coulomb force, generally if we observe the direction of the Coulomb force generally depends upon the line joining the two charges. The direction of Coulomb force depends upon the line joining the two charges. Okay, again you may ask me how it can depends upon the line joining two charges. Suppose I take the case that the two charge particle is placed in air system. Okay, so if for air system we can say the force between two charged particles will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square, and I say the direction between the two direction of the Coulomb force always depend upon the line joining the two charges. Line joining the two charges means, suppose I take here, the force will be like this one is q1 and this one is q2, okay, and there is a separation between q1 q2, that will be r, okay. Line joining the two charges means it may away from q2 or it may towards q1 or it may away from q1 or it may towards q2, okay. Depending upon the charge variation, the force will be like this, that is away from q2 or towards q1 or away from q1 or towards q2, okay. So it depends upon the line joining the two charges, and the line joining the two charges or the direction of a force always depends upon the sign of the charge, that means positive or negative sign of the charges, okay. So we discuss how the force, how can we write the expression of force, or how can we write the direction of the force, okay. So if we take the vector form of Coulomb's law, in general case, in vector form we find the Coulomb force between two charges depends upon the line joining the two charges, means it depends upon the distance, okay. Force that depends upon the distance quantity, or it depends upon the displacement between the two charges, and when we measure the displacement, simply we can write in vector form. In general case, in vector form, force between the two charges will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square and r cap, okay. What is the r cap? So r cap is a unit vector, okay. R cap is unit vector, but here there is a variation in the direction, okay. Either I say away from q1 or towards q2 or away from q2 or towards q1, okay. How can we identify or how can we name the direction as per the sign of different charges, okay. So in order to take the direction between the two charges or direction of force depending upon the variation in sign of charges, we can take a short example, or we can take a little bit examples to understand the direction of the Coulomb force. So before coming to the direction of Coulomb force, first we have to know how can we write the different terms belonging to Coulomb force, okay. Different terms means we can say, suppose we take two charged particles q1 and q2, 2 point charges. This one is very important and you have to remember this thing. If you have not remember all the things, then you cannot be solve the problem, or you cannot solve the critical problems that will arise in your board exams, okay. Suppose I take two charged particles q1, another charged particle, 2 point charges, one is q1 and another one is q2, okay, and q1 and q2 separated by distance r, okay, and this is the displacement in between the two charges, okay. Now we can represent in vector form as for the direction of motion, okay. As for the direction of motion means what? As for the direction of motion means, suppose I say I take the moment of the distance, or I take moment from q1 to q2, or I can take the moment from q2 to q1, okay. And when we take the moment from q1 to q2 means it makes a displacement of r12, okay. So what are the different terms? R12 vector, okay, R12 vector. So remember there are two charges, okay. One is q1, another one is q2, okay. The q1 charge is represented by the index 1 and the q2 charge is represented by the index 2, okay. One index starts for q1, two index starts for q2, okay. And when we write the term R12 vector, what does it means? R12 vector means simply we say R is the displacement, okay, displacement in between the two charges q1 and q2. And when we write R12 vector means we have to direct the motion, and there is a vector symbol means we have to indicate the motion from which we start and towards which we are taking the motion, and the starting point to end point, okay. So that means R12 vector means that will give displacement from q1 to q2, okay. This is very important. R12 vector means we take this one is R12, okay. There is a head position, so that's why I mark here arrow. So R12 vector means there is a displacement from q1 towards q2, so that's why I write here R12 vector, okay. 1 to 2, that means q1 charge to q2 charge, and that is represented by R12 vector, okay. Second thing, R21 vector, okay. R21 vector means first index is 2, second index is 1, okay, and when the first index is 2, we have to start motion from that charge, okay. When that means in case of R21 vector, we can start the displacement from the second charge. So first index will be the starting point and second index will be the ending point. That means we can say there is a motion from 2 to 1, okay. So 2 1 means there is motion from 2 to 1, so 2 is the first starting point and 1 is the ending point, okay. So 1 to 1 vector, that will be displacement from q2 to q1, okay. R12 vector, that is displacement from q1 to q2. R21 vector means displacement from q2 to q1, okay. Now come towards the unit vector R12 cap, okay. Always a unit vector is directed along the motion of a vector, okay. Unit vector always directed along the motion of the vector, and when we take the motion of the vector as R12 means there is a direction of unit vector along that vector. So R12 vector means we can say that is the unit vector along R12 vector, okay. So here we can represent, so that will be R12 cap, okay. So that will be the unit vector along R12 vector. Second thing is R21 cap, okay. R21 cap means that is the unit vector along R21 cap, unit vector along R21 vector, okay. Now come to the direction of force, okay. Suppose we write the force as the index F12 vector, okay. So there is a representation like F12 vector. First index is 1, second index is 2. So 1 means that is q1 and 2 means that is q2 charge, okay. And when we write force F12 vector, it means that, and the first index will represent the charge on which we act the force, okay. First index, that will be the charge on which we act the force, and second index is that the charge which cause the effect, okay. That means F12 vector means that will be force on q1 charge, force on q1 charge due to q2 charge, force on q1 charge due to q2 charge, okay. So force kaha upare पडुची, Q1 ऊपर पड़ुची कहा पाई पड़ुची ना Q2 पाई आसुची ओके सो फोर्स F12 vector means force on Q1 first index means on which we act the force okay second index means the charge which cause the effect okay so for F12 vector means force on Q1 due to the charge Q2 okay and the action is taken on Q1 by Q2 okay so the first index that will be as Q1 and second index that will be as Q2 okay second thing is F21 vector F21 vector here first index is 2 second index is 1 okay 2 means on which we act the force okay and this can be written as force on Q2 charge due to Q1 charge okay कहा ऊपर पड़ुची Q2 ऊपर पड़ुची कहा पाई पड़ुची Q1 पाई पड़ुची okay so here we can represent force on suppose I take here 1 okay this is 2 okay when we act force on 1 due to Q2 so that will be F12 vector okay F21 means if we act force on Q2 because of Q1 so that will be F21 vector okay so this sixth thing is very important for the Coulomb's law in vector form again I repeat what are the different terms we use in the vector form R12 vector that is the displacement from Q1 to Q2 R21 vector means displacement from Q2 to Q1 R12 cap that is the unit vector along R21 vector R21 cap means unit vector along R21 vector F12 vector means force on Q1 force acting on Q1 because of charge Q2 okay F21 vector means force acting on Q2 because of Q1 okay now it's important that how can we represent F12 vector and how can one represent F21 vector so direction of F12 vector or direction of F21 vector depends upon the magnitude of the charges okay and the different sign used in the charge that means either you may take positive charge or you may take negative charge okay suppose I take different cases in order to represent a Coulomb's law okay and if we observe here the displacement R12 vector or displacement R21 vector has a common magnitude that is R okay that's why you can write R21 vector magnitude equals to R12 vector magnitude equals to R okay because we keep the distance fixed the charge Q1 and Q2 are being raised so that's why the magnitude of the charges are okay same that means R21 vector equal to R12 vector that equals to R okay again R12 cap and R21 cap are unit vectors okay so that's why we can write R12 vector R12 cap equals to R21 cap okay so that will be R21 unit vector okay and there is a negative sign in between the two unit vector because when we take the unit vector R21 cap or R12 cap its magnitude is always 1 okay and if the both vectors have same magnitude but they act in opposite direction so they are called negative vectors okay R12 cap R21 cap equals to 1 because they are the unit vectors and the direction of that unit vector is opposite okay and when two vectors have the same magnitude directed along opposite direction they can be represented the unit vector negative vectors negative vector means we can say a vector equals to minus b vector that's why we can write R12 cap equals to minus R21 cap you may ask here sir here R21 vector magnitude equal to R12 vector magnitude equals to R okay R12 vector R21 vector also have same magnitude and they are also acting in the different direction though they are negative vectors answer is yes okay they are also negative vectors because they possess same magnitude and directed here opposite direction. So that's why one can write r12 vector equal to minus r21 vector. Okay, they are also negative vectors. Okay, so now take different cases to represent Coulomb's law. Okay. So in general case, we write the Coulomb force in vector form as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square r cap. R square r cap. Okay. Suppose I take the different cases like, okay, two similar charges, okay, or two charges of similar nature, okay. So Coulomb force in vector form for two similar charges. What does mean two similar charges? Two similar charges means two charges must have the same sign, okay, or we can say that is the like charges. Two charges same sign means either you may take q1, q2 greater than 0, okay, either both the charges are positive, or you may take q1, q2 less than 0, or they may be negative sign, okay. So either two charges are in positive in nature or two charges are in negative nature, okay, but both the charges have to take same sign, plus plus or minus minus, okay. So suppose we write the Coulomb's law in vector form for the two similar charges. Okay, suppose I choose two positive charges, okay, q1 and q2 greater than 0. Suppose I took this one, two positive charges, okay. Suppose here q1 is positive and q2 is also positive, okay, and the direction between q1 is positive and q2 is also positive. Suppose I take this case, okay, and the distance between the two charges, suppose I take here r, okay. So now what will be the r12 vector? So this will be r12 vector, this will be r21 vector, and there is also a unit vector, that is r12 cap, okay, and there is also a unit vector along vector r21 cap, okay. Now important is force, okay. Suppose we take Coulomb force on charge q1 due to charge q2, okay. Coulomb force on q1 due to charge q2. So in general we write force as F vector equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r square r cap, okay. So here force on q1 because of q2, that is represented as F12 vector, okay, and here the force is acting on q1 because of q2. Force टा कहा ऊपर पड़ुची? q1 charge ऊपर, किए act करुची? q2 charge, okay. So when there is a action starts from q2 means we have to take movement from that action, okay. Action एटी कहा पाखरु start होउची? पकोउची किए ना q2, तेना movement टा कोडु start हबो ना q2 रु q1 को, okay. F12 vector means here the action starts from q2 and ends at q1, okay. So there is a displacement will taken from 2 to 1 direction, okay. Force on q1 because of q2 means action will starts from q2 and action will ends at q1. So that's why we write F12 vector as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2, because there is a product sign in between q1. You may write q1 q2 or you may write q2 q1. Okay, so there will be no change. Okay, now important is this part r. Okay, and when we write f12 vector, means the action starts from q2 and ends at q1, because force is acting on q1 because of q2. Okay, so that's why there is a displacement from 2 to 1. Okay, force is act on q1 because of q2, means there is action from 2 to 1. Okay, so that's why we write here the displacement is r12 square and r21 square r21 cap. Okay, from 2 to 1. Okay, so that's why we write here f12 vector. So f12 vector is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r21 square r21 cap. Okay, बुझेला r21 कहीं आसुची r21 because there is action starts from q2 and at q1. Okay, because we are acting the force on q1 charge because of q2 charge. Okay, and since there are both positive charges, okay, q1 is positive and q2 is also positive. Okay, and the direction is always taken from the action. Okay, जो point from action start करूचे सही point रो हमारा direction आसीबो. Okay, so there is action starts from q2 charge, so that's why when q2 acts on q1, okay, when q2 acts on q1, so there are a force which exists in repulsive nature. Okay, because q1 is positive charge, q2 is also positive charge, and force between two positive charges is repulsive nature. And when we start action from q2 to q1, so there is a repulsion or moment of q1 charge away from the q2 charge. Okay, so that's why we write the direction as here, that is away from q1 f12 vector. Okay, action starts from q2 and at q1, q2 is positive, q1 is positive, but there is a action starts from q2 charge. So that's why when q2 charge acts on q1, so they will experience a repulsive force, and because of that repulsive force, q1 charge move along the line joining the two charges, and when it moves along the line joining the two charges, that means the moment is away from q1. So that's why it is written as f12 vector, that is away from q1 charge. Okay, second thing, Coulomb force. Coulomb force on charge q2 due to q1. Okay, and when we add Coulomb force on charge q2 due to q1, means there is a action starts from q1 and ends at q2, and this is represented as f21 vector. Okay, so f21 vector means, first observe from which we start the action and towards which we move. Okay, force acts on q2 because of q1, so it force act karibo kiye q1 karibo kaha upare q2 upare. So moment will starts from q1 and at q2. Okay, and when we take moment from 1 to 2, means it takes the displacement r12 vector. Okay, so that's why we write here 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by displacement is from 1 to 2, so that's why r12 square r12 cap. Okay, r12 square r12 cap, because the displacement is from 1 to 2. Now come to the direction. Okay, the direction when q1 acts on the charge q2, q1 is positive, q2 is also positive, and action starts from q1 and acting on q2. Okay, so that's why this one is positive, and when it acts on q2, means there will be a repulsive force, and repulsive force act along the line joining the charges. So along the line joining the charges means that is away from q2 charge, so that will be the direction of f21 vector. Okay, now what is the relation between F21 vector and F12 vector? Okay, we have to take just a relation between the both the vector F12 and F21 vector. Okay, and when we take the relation between F12 vector and F21 vector, we can observe here. Now, if we look towards F12 vector, okay, F12 vector here 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R21 square R21 cap. Okay, and just before I discussed that R21 vector magnitude is equal to R12 vector magnitude, and that value equals to the distance between the two charges, and we take that charges R. Okay, so that's why we can write R12 vector magnitude equals to R21 vector magnitude equals to R. Okay, and another thing, that is R21 vector equal to minus R12 vector. Okay, both are the negative vectors, or in case of a unit vector format, we can write R12 cap equal to minus R21 cap. Okay, and if we change here, because R21 is in square format, means this one is the magnitude form, and this one is unit vector, means it is a vector form. Okay, so if we convert or if we change the index of that force, then we can write this expression as F12 vector equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, this one is a constant factor, Q1 Q2 divided by R21, this can be written as R12 square, because R21 magnitude equals to R12 magnitude, R21 magnitude equals to R12 magnitude equals to R. So that's why we can convert here R21 by R12 as it is in magnitude format. Second thing, R21 cap, and R21 cap can be written as negative of minus negative of R12 cap. So that's why it is can be written as R21 cap, that equals to minus R12 cap. Okay, so that will be F12 vector equals to minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R12 square R12 cap. Okay, and this is the force on Q2 because of Q1. Okay, and that will be F12 vector equals to minus F21 vector. Okay, this is the expression that stands for F21 vector. So F12 vector equals to minus F21 vector. What does this relation indicates? This relation indicates F12 vector is negative of F21 vector. That means both the vectors have the same magnitude but opposite direction. Same magnitude because R21 magnitude is also R12 magnitude, and R21 unit vector equals to R12 unit vector. So that's why both the vectors are same magnitude and negative direction, okay, or opposite direction. So one is a negative vector to another. Okay, and if you write here in vector form, like we can change the vector form like F12 vector equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R12 square R21 square R21 cap. Okay, and from the definition of unit vector, a unit vector can be represented by vector by its vector magnitude. Okay, simply a unit vector is written as a vector by a. Okay, and if we move toward the definition of unit vector, so one can write R21 cap equals to R21 vector by R21. Okay, and if we substitute here, so what we get, F12 vector equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r21 square r21 vector by r21. Okay, and when we multiply these vectors, that will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r21 q r21 cap r21 sorry r21 vector. So this is another form of another vector form of Coulomb's law, where we represent this as a vector, okay, instead of a unit vector. And when we write here the vector, here the power will be 3, okay, and when we write here unit vector, so here the power will be 2, okay. So we take one case, that is the vector form of Coulomb force for two similar charges. Now take the second case, okay, vector form of Coulomb force when for two dissimilar charges, okay. And when we take two dissimilar charges, means we can say one is positive, another is negative. That means we can take q1 greater than 0 and q2 less than 0. Suppose I take here q1 is greater than 0 and q2 is less than 0. q1 is greater than 0 means this will be the positive charge, and q2 is less than 0 means this will be the negative charge. So q1 is positive and q2 is negative, okay. And when they q1 is positive and q2 is negative, means there will be also change in direction of the force, okay. Suppose the distance between the two charges will be r, and the displacement as per the vector form rule, that is displacement from 1 to 2, that is r12 vector, displacement from 2 to 1, that is r21 vector, okay. And when we take the case of calculation of force, then that will be r12 unit vector, that will be r21 unit vector, okay. Force on q1 due to q2, okay. So force is acting on q1 because of q2, okay. That means the action starts from second charge and its first charge, okay. So that will be f12 vector, okay. So when we write f12 vector, means it is the displacement from 2 to 1, so that will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 by r21 square r21 cap, okay. Now come to the direction part, okay. So direction part, suppose I pointed here A and B, okay. q1 is positive, q2 is negative, and the action starts from q2 ends at q1, okay. q2 is negative, q1 is positive, and when we take the action from q2 to q1, the direction of vector says that will be along the line joining the two charges, okay. This one is negative, q2 is negative, and when the negative charge act on the positive charge, then what happens? The negative pull the positive charge towards itself, okay. That means the positive charge attracted towards that negative charge, because the action is starts from second charge or the negative charge, okay. And when q1 is attracted along the q2, means we can say the direction will be like this, and this will be the direction of f12 vector, that means along A to B, okay. When we take action from second charge to first charge, and the second charge is negative, that's why the positive charge is pulled towards the negative charge, okay. So here we can say along AB direction. Okay. Second thing, that is F21 vector. So that will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R12 square R12 F. Okay. R12 square, that is force on Q2 due to Q1. Okay. So there will be action starts from first charge and at the second charge. So moment will be 1 to 2. Okay. And when we take moment from first charge towards the second charge, and here the action starts from positive and ends at the negative. And when there is the action of a positive charge on negative charge, then the negative charge, because here the action starts from the positive, and when the positive acts on that negative charge, then in such case the negative charge attracted towards that positive charge. Okay. The attraction or the repulsion always depends upon the charge from which we start the action. Okay. जो पॉइंट तुम एक्शन स्टार्ट करूछ से पॉइंट ऊपर डिपेंड करे यदि मु पॉजिटिव एक्शन स्टार्ट करूची सेकंड चार्ज ता मोर पॉजिटिव अछि सो दैट चार्ज विल बी मूव अवे फ्रॉम द चार्ज एंड व्हेन द सेकंड चार्ज इज नेगेटिव and action starts from positive means always the movement takes or the movement depends upon the negative charge or second charge. The second charge is if negative, then it will be attracted towards the positive charge. Okay, so that's why the direction will be and direction will be along BA vector. Okay. Now come to relation between F12 vector and F21 vector. F12 vector equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R21 square R21 cap. Okay. So that will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R21, that can be written as R12 square because both are the same magnitude. Okay. And that will be written as minus R12 cap. Okay, because R12 vector equals to R21 vector magnitude, R12 cap equals to minus R21 cap. Okay, so that's equals to minus 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 by R12 square R12 cap. Okay, and this term is equal to this term. Okay, so this can be written as F21 vector. So that's why F12 vector equals to minus F21 vector. Okay, so this is also negative vectors. So F12 vector are also negative to F21 vector because they have the same magnitude and opposite direction. Okay, so this is the Coulomb's law in vector form when we take the different nature of charge. Okay, when we take positive positive or positive negative. Okay, and the direction of the charge always depend upon the charge on which charge from which we start the action and the charge at which we end the action. Okay, and the direction always depends upon the second charge, either it is away from that charge or towards the action charge. Okay, so I think you all get a little bit knowledge about the vector form of the charge. So, okay, so follow your books, refer book in order to get, and if you have the doubts then you can ask me. Okay, but it is important that you have to listen the videos carefully and you have to make notes while you are watching the video. Okay, so first listen the video carefully because this one is very important. If you understand this part, then that will be helpful to understand the all the rest parts of the electrostatic. Okay, because this one is important. Okay, and if you are not able to understand this chapter, that means you cannot that means it is very difficult to understand the rest of that chapter. Okay, so listen the the things carefully, and you first mention or first remember how one can write the direction and how the index are changed. Okay, thank you.